episode 97 of Chew on This, a Nerds United podcast. I'm BJ.
Vic.
We are live at San Francisco Comic-Con 2017.
Keep going so we can double it.
Yeah.
I'm going to double it in post.
We have a packed house. It's ridiculously packed in here. It's like shoulder to shoulder.
Well, they're shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. Well, we're live at San Francisco Comic-Con. This is actually the second time we're doing... What are we doing? We're doing the What the Fuck episode, right?
Right, which is why we're at 10 o'clock. Because we couldn't even say the title of the show.
Right.
At 2 o'clock.
We were supposed to be on like 2 or 3 o'clock, like on a Sunday, and then I said, oh, by the way, we curse. And they're like...
Well, how much? And we're like...
quite a bit.
It's in the title in the show that we're going to do. That's how much.
Yeah, so
that's how much we curse. It's actually
exactly
in the title that we curse.
So they said 10 o'clock Saturday night. That's your slot. And we're like,
yeah.
Fuck. All right, that's cool.
So this is actually like 5,000% more people than we'd actually thought we'd see.
Handed out like 100 flyers. Got this amount of people, and probably some.
Did anybody actually
get
the flyer? That was nobody here got the flyer. Thank you, Staples.
That was effective. Hey, Nikolai, if you're out there, the Russian dude who like gave us a discount on the flyers, thanks for nothing.
There's probably a janitor fucking sitting us out right now because our flyers. There's like 100 flyers that he's got to fucking pick up. He's like, who the fuck is this podcast? His dick's just littered everywhere.
Well, we had a really interesting day today. I mean, right when we got here, something interesting happened. I went up to the thing to get my, these little tags or whatever, and I said, I'm here for our badges. And they're like, oh, you need to go over here. So we went over there, and we gave them our name. They're like, I don't see your name on this list at all.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm BJ, this is Vic, we're Chew on This. And they're like, well, we'll just take your word for it. They wrote us our names down, and they gave us these badges. And we're like, oh, cool. So... we went anywhere we wanted to fucking go with these badges.
But we didn't know like we could actually go anywhere we wanted to go.
They said staff on them, so we went everywhere for like 15 minutes. Just kind of went everywhere. Right. We tried. We didn't go back and see the celebrities or anything like that, but we talked to some people. We're like, hey, can we get interviews? And they're like, fuck no, you can't talk to the celebrities. So we're like, okay, whatever. So we're feeling all defeated and shit. So we're like, well, let's go back to the info booth and talk to them and see maybe we can figure out a way.
Who do we talk to?
Who do we talk to?
Talk to somebody.
Whose dick do we have to suck to like talk to Sean Astin from the Goonies? So like, they're like, they go, wait a minute, why do you have those badges, by the way? And we're like, oh, they just give them to us. And they're
press.
Like, yeah, yeah. You walked around with the badges.
I was like showing around like it was
we're
press. And I had no idea that staff just meant staff.
Yeah, exactly. So they took our badges away and they gave us these fucking.
We literally were like up here. We're like, we can go anywhere we fucking want. This is awesome. Yeah. I didn't think we'd have this kind of access.
Right.
We fucking made it. You know. and then they take the badges back and we get this blue thing that is the same thing as like if my daughter went on like an amusement park. So I went from like all the way over here to you're on the teacup rides.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty. We felt really defeated, so we left.
Because it was like our fault. Like we were trying to find more, like the right way of doing it instead of like sneaking around. Even though we had the badges that we didn't know we could actually not have to sneak around. So we were trying to do the right thing, and in doing the right thing, we basically had a winning lottery ticket and shit all over it.
We threw it in the dumpster. Yeah, pretty much.
Wiped our asses with it. Anyway, this is not part of the episode. This is just what happened to us today.
This is just what happened to us today.
That was before 10:30.
So we felt really defeated. We're like, fuck this. So we went and saw Terminator 2 across the street.
Instead.
Instead of like.
Oh, by the way, 3 people. The reason why we went to go see Terminator 2 is because 3 people that worked here told us there was no panels to go look. Like there was no. Peter Capaldi wasn't going to have a panel. Sean Astin wasn't going to have a panel. So we're like, all right, fuck it. We'll go to the movies instead.
Like, why do we want to walk around
We'll go
the
see
show
Terminator
floor?
2 like we've never seen that before. Right? So we come back and we're leaving and we're like, oh shit, Sean Astin has a panel. I'm like, those motherfuckers. And then we're like, did Peter Capaldi have a panel?
Yep.
And then we're scrolling back up. Like, motherfucker, when John Connor meets the Terminators when Capaldi was fucking talking.
Where is the TARDIS now to help us go back in time?
So maybe staff members should know that the most famous people you have at the convention are actually talking. Otherwise, you'll go to the movies.
What did George say on Seinfeld? He said, I flew too close to the sun on wings of pastrami. so we fucking...
All right, well, our actual title of this episode is What the Fuck. It's our second one, and basically we take movies that we love, that we hate. Actually,
most of these we love.
Yeah, but there's parts of it.
You tend to be more critical about the movies you love.
And there's parts of it that just literally just make you say, what the fuck? So this is what this episode's about. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to go first because the weirdest thing happened. We were watching Terminator 2, and all of a sudden, I hadn't seen it in a while, and I'm really paying attention to it. And I noticed...
That's how prepared we are. He did it like just by chance that we saw Terminator 2 today.
I noticed some like really glaring problems with this movie. Well, one of the things that you kind of mentioned to me, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're right." But there's a part of the movie where she's locked inside of like the mental hospital, and she's in the
after
room.
that creepy guy licks her face.
Yeah, the guy who licks her face, and which that's what everyone does. And then he leaves, and she has a paperclip that she's stolen.
Right.
And she gets out of her locks and all that, but then she picks the lock from the inside of her.
Yeah, this is how good this penitentiary is.
Why
they actually give you a lock on the inside door, either to just tease the fuck out of you that hey, you don't have the key for this door, or try and pick me.
Right. Which they know she's pretty resourceful. She's escaped how many fucking times?
Yeah,
they said?
she's in maximum security, but they put a keyhole on her side of the door.
Exactly. Yeah. So. What the fuck, Terminator 2?
Yeah, again, a movie that we really love.
Well, hold on. I got another one. I got another one, Terminator 2, because this is
It's a really good thing we saw this movie today.
Then we're gonna say, yeah. So this is the other one. There's a part of the movie where they're being chased by the T-1000 in the helicopter, right?
Right.
And Arnold's driving the SWAT van or whatever the hell that thing was, and he hits the brakes. And the helicopter like just jams right into the butt of the SWAT team, and it
while
blows
John
up.
and Sarah Connor.
While John and Sarah Connor are completely like exposed, and that helicopter blows up, and they don't get burned at all.
It's the same material they used for Indiana Jones when he was in the
refrigerator.
Yeah, in the nuclear warhead.
Yeah,
same one.
Because a fucking refrigerator is going to save you from the goddamn nuclear war. Yeah, maybe they had one of those fridges inside the SWAT van.
The SWAT van was a fridge.
Quick. Yeah,
it was an ice cream truck. Before it painted blue, there's a freezer in there.
I want one of those fucking trucks, man. It's gonna withstand a helicopter blast.
Right. So I got one for we tried to other things we tried to do for this one is we tried to find movies that people have been in that are the special guests here that we couldn't talk to.
Right.
And find something in their movies.
So we shit on your movie.
So Princess Bride. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I thought I was going to have a hard time finding a what the fuck moment. It took me 5 minutes.
Seriously?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
That's a near perfect movie.
So it's right after Columbo. Peter
Columbo.
What the hell's his name?
Peter Falk?
Yeah.
Is that? I was saying Peter Falk. Peter Falk.
Peter Falk. He comes in and he comes in and starts to read the story, right? So he's reading the story, and it's whatever her name is, the blonde, right? And she's there.
Princess Buttercup?
No, she's not princess
Christ.
at this time. Yeah, I know. I only needed to see 5 minutes. I didn't get to the name part yet.
Okay.
So they just leave her there. And she just constantly just messes with the farm boy, right? Like, do this farm boy, do that shit, right?
Yeah.
And there's no parents around, so clearly she's young, right?
Right.
So what kind of parent are you that you leave a girl there with a guy who she constantly fucks with on a farm where you have, like, weapons?
Like Wesley's gonna pull out a pitchfork and he's
There's no reason for him to like her. I don't care how good looking you are. There's no fucking reason to fall in love with her. She's a bitch to him.
So you think like he would have like attacked her or like?
I'm just saying when the parents came home from wherever they were, she probably was soil. Because she's a bitch to him.
They're like, farm boy, where's Princess Buttercup? She's like, oh, buried in the berry patch. She told me one too many things to do. Like, fuck. She's like, hey, can you grab this pan that's right here at eye level, like, please?
And then he grabs her like all sexual.
Bam.
Clearly, Wesley is like fucked up in the head, right?
Yeah.
Because he likes this girl who just messes with him. And he thinks like he thinks that's love. That's how messed up he is.
Yeah.
He thinks abuse is love.
It's sexy. It's like sex. It's dominatrix.
Verbal abuse is love to Wesley.
Oh my God. All right, so Star Wars. We always find problems with Star Wars. So, Episode 4, A New Hope. Episode 4, A New Hope. So Obi-Wan says, he says to Vader while they're fighting or whatever, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. What the fuck does he do for the next 2 movies? He just literally just shows up like a weird haunting ghost and like tells him to go to Dagobah. He tells him, there's another Skywalker. He tells him, I can't, you're going to go fight Vader? I can't intervene.
He's like a really bad guidance counselor.
He really is. He's like, you can't intervene. But then in the 3rd movie, he's like, you got to fucking kill him because otherwise the Emperor's going to rule forever. So
right.
he does that. What is the power that he has?
A manipulation, because he lied to Luke.
He's got the power of manipulation. What is he, like Princess Buttercup?
Yeah, it's verbal abuse. He's like, from a certain point of view. I'm like, you fucking lied to him. Just say you lied to me. I mean, I got my hand cut off because you fucking lied to me.
So if your wife, says, he like catches you cheating, you're like, well, from a certain point of view.
Yeah, use that.
It was not
We
cheating.
don't advise that at all.
Right. Don't use that. Don't use the certain point of view. It's not going to work. It's never going to fucking work. Although it does work on Luke. He literally just sits there and goes, okay.
He's just a farm boy.
Yeah.
All right, so I actually have Star Wars on here too.
Nice.
I've got Empire Strikes Back on here. And my what the fuck moment is when they're on Hoth and Luke is saved and Han is messing with Leia and Leia kisses Luke and R2-D2 just watches this whole thing happen. Because if you remember in Revenge of the Sith, it's only C-3PO gets his memory wiped. And clearly C-3PO, it's C-3PO, right? R2-D2, Chewbacca, Han, and Leia, and Luke in there.
Yeah.
The only person that knows they're fucking related is the blue droid. And he doesn't, his sensors don't go off. Like you remember in Spaceballs where like the Virgin alarm went off? There should have been like an incest alarm that went off on R2. Just like an alarm that says, don't do that shit. This isn't Game of Thrones.
R2 is an asshole. He really is.
He just watched it happen. Like the butler from Spider-Man 3 just let all this shit happen, then tells him, your dad was the Green Goblin.
After his face was all fucked up.
But he never, R2-D2 actually never mentions it. He doesn't even like say, hey, C-3PO, I forgot to mention when Leia was kissing Luke, they're kind of brother and sister.
I think he's just sadistic. He just wanted to see that shit happen. He's all sitting there with with one of his little arms come out. He's all, oh yeah, that's hot. Anyway, Batman Returns.
Okay.
Remember the cat and the bat and the penguin, the bird, some shit like that. So there's a scene I think toward the end where the penguin is making this big speech. And Batman tells, doesn't he tell Alfred, hey, patch me in so he can play the penguin saying really awful things about the people of Gotham and all that stuff. Yeah. So Penguin's sitting there saying the speech, and all of a sudden it's cut off, and it's him saying something really bad, And Batman, he has a CD. He puts a CD in that thing. Mm-hmm. And then he starts fucking DJing it. He's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
he's all.
So the people in Gotham should have been like, this might not be real. Because the penguin is actually beatboxing his speech.
This is not real time. No, but I mean, like DJ Bruce Wayne literally was just like sitting there like.
As in the Batsuit.
But we'll see. I mean, that's literally what the fuck. But have you ever like actually scratched a
No,
CD?
It's lasers.
It's late, right?
Right.
It doesn't work that way. Like needles, it's actually like scratching against the record. But lasers, anyway.
No, it would have just skipped like back in the day if you dropped your CD player. It would have went blank.
Anyway.
Let's see. What do I have here? I have another Carrie Elways movie on here.
Carrie Elways?
Yeah, I got another one. I got Twister.
Oh, Twister.
How many people remember Twister? Okay, with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton, right? Paxton? Yeah.
You got it right this time. Earlier you said Bill Pullman. I said, fuck, no, that's not the right Bill.
So he's Dr. Jonas Miller in there, and there's that. It's the death scene for him, and he decides, he's clearly they paint him as arrogant throughout the whole movie, and he doesn't want to listen to Bill Paxton's character, so he just wants to drive straight. But when they finally actually go to where Jonas Miller's driving, it's like a fucking 2-mile wide tornado. And it's clearly, if you see a 2 mile of anything and it moves, you're gonna see it. And it's clearly coming towards him on this like little dirt road.
Right.
And he tells Bill Paxton basically, fuck off. I'm not going to trust my eyes that I can see this thing is about to kill me. I'm just gonna drive right fucking through it. And he just dies in like one of the dumbest ways ever.
That's like City of Angels stupid,
yeah,
right?
City of Angels stupid. You guys know the City of Angels death?
With Meg Ryan, she puts her hands up and closes her eyes, or riding a bike, and then the semi-truck fucking hits her, and everyone wonders why she dies.
You guys remember that? Do you guys know City of Angels? All right, so it's a Nicolas Cage, really quick. Meg Ryan, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage plays an angel who basically falls in love with Meg Ryan. So he falls from grace to be with her. They have one night of passionate sex, and for her to celebrate, she goes out and gets breakfast. In her moment of ecstasy of realizing that she's in love, she decides to ride her bike downhill, closing her eyes.
And with her hands
on the opposite, onto incoming traffic. It's one of the worst. It's one of the dumbest deaths you could ever have.
It has to be pound for pound the stupidest death
in a drama. Yeah,
on cinema history.
Yeah,
like, it's the worst thing ever. So, little movie called Superman 4.
Oh God.
Quest for peace, or quest for money to
more
pay
money.
For that piece of shit. So I don't know if you guys. There was a film company in the 80s called Canon Films. In fact, there's an awesome documentary on Netflix. And their last movie they did was Superman 4. And so anyway, the budget for this movie was like $36 million or something like that, and they ended up slashing it in half. So there's a lot of what the fuck moments in this thing. But the one that really blew me away is, we've seen Superman do all these powers, all these different, things that he does. He threw the S, I think, remember that? And Superman 2 and all the different
then
shit.
He replicated himself.
He replicates himself. He's like, I used to play this when I was a kid. Right. But anyway, so the nuclear man goes and destroys the Great Wall of China. Like blows up the part of this wall, right. And people are like, Superman flies in from nowhere, saves some people, and then he stares at the wall, and then bricks start showing up. Like they just start appearing, and then the wall is patched up. Like
Mesoplex or something?
Yeah, but how the fuck did he do that? With little white lasers.
I don't remember. Oh, I do remember that, but I don't ever, I guess I was just sucked into the stupidness of the whole movie that I never actually thought.
I mean, that movie is so bad. When I saw that, I pissed my pants. I'm like, I realized Superman is super. But I didn't realize he could materialize bricks out of nowhere and repair shit.
Maybe in Zack Snyder's
Because he could come to my house, and there's a lot of shit he could repair with his eyes.
I didn't know that.
No.
Well, he also has that amnesia kiss, too.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? Seriously.
Didn't he do that?
He did it a couple of times.
Did he fucking push her off a building in Superman 4? Kiss her and then throw her off the building and then become Superman? Oh, no. He didn't kiss her. He basically he jumped, then Lois went after him, and then he became Superman. Scared the fuck out of her.
No, I thought she jumped off the Niagara Falls.
That was in 2.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't
save her. She falls a lot.
Yeah, she falls a lot. Again, I wish he could come over to my house and kiss my wife so she'd forget some of the stupid shit that I did.
It's a good thing she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Love you, babe.
All right, wow, we're really blown by these really fast.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to run out of material in about 30 seconds.
That's okay. We got trivia questions, too.
We only got 10 of them.
And only 5 prizes. So.
Yeah. We'll ask them really slow.
Yeah.
Just make up answers. We're like, nope, that's not right.
That's not right.
I got The Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
And I don't know.
You're picking classic movies that don't.
I know. It's pretty funny. So everybody remembers Wizard of Oz, right? At the end, Dorothy clicks her heels together and wants to go home, right? The Good Witch tells her at the end. Why the fuck didn't she tell her that from the beginning? Like, basically used Dorothy.
Oh, yeah.
Just used her.
Used her.
Like, you're the Good Witch. You actually have magical powers, and you get this farmer girl, this teenage farmer girl, to fight like an evil empire.
Glenda's an asshole.
Yeah. Is that her name?
Is it Glenda the Good Witch?
Glenda the Good. Yeah, she's a bitch.
She's an asshole.
I mean, could you imagine, like, just like you need to get home to your family and kids?
No, you need to kill this witch, and then I'll let you go home.
But you didn't even know you had that power once you got. Like, you had the keys to the car the whole time, and nobody told you.
Oh, with the red slippers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I'd be clicking that shit right off the bat. I'm not sticking around here. Kill some green bitch. You haven't seen Passengers yet.
No, there's a reason.
You guys, I'm sure some of you guys have seen Passengers. This movie's like, the whole thing is ridiculous. But the thing that really, you're not going to watch this movie, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, basically, the whole premise of this movie is that there's these bunch of passengers, and they're going to a new planet to kind of populate it or whatever. But it takes like 90 years or something like that to get there, so they have to go into cryostasis. So basically, they're leaving all their loved ones behind. They're all going to die or whatever. Mm-hmm. So Chris Pratt's going to start a new life, but Jennifer Lawrence is going there because she's a journalist. She wants to journal there for 2 years and then actually go back to Earth.
Okay.
Which is stupid because by the time she gets back there, everybody she's ever loved is fucking dead anyway.
Yeah,
so
her company could have went under.
So you might as well just stay where you're at.
Somebody could have taken her URL or something.
That is a long, like, round trip.
GoDaddy kills your website.
Yeah.
Because you haven't paid your bill in 300 years.
Anyway, so what ends up happening is Chris Pratt wakes up because some anomaly happens, and he wakes up, and he can't go back in the pod to go back
Spoilers,
to sleep.
by the way.
Yeah, it gives a shit. It's a stupid movie. So anyway, he's really lonely. He's by himself for like a year, and then one day he just like sees her, and he's like telling himself, no, you can't. But one day he fucking turns her pod off, like jacks it up to the point she wakes up, and then they fall in love, and then one day, of course, inevitably, what do you think happened?
She finds out.
She finds out. So now she's pissed at him,
Right.
But in the meantime, that anomaly thing that happened a year prior is starting to make the ship, like, it's going to blow up, essentially. So, like, he's like, I need you. We need each other to help, to help fix this problem.
Okay.
So they fix the problem, and then he tells her, like, hey, there's this pod in the medical bay that you can go in there. I altered it so you can go back to sleep. Mm-hmm. And what do you think she decides to do?
Not go
She
to sleep?
doesn't go to fucking sleep. She stays on the goddamn ship with him for the next 90 years and dies there.
With him?
With him.
That's how it ends?
That's how it ends.
That sounds like a really bad Wall-E.
It is a bad Wall-E movie.
Like if Wall-E had Eve there sleeping,
The
he would...
second he told
Actually,
me...
Wall-E was trying to wake her up.
Wall-E was trying to... Right, yeah. But the second someone told me, hey, I fixed this pod, I'm like, fuck, adios, bitch.
So
like,
at what
I'm
point in
outta
time
here.
did she forgive him?
Spoilers. I think because so he fixed the anomaly, and then he ends up he ends up getting shot out into space, right? And so she's like, she freaks out and she jumps in a spacesuit and goes after him and brings him back.
That's when she forgives him by saving his ass?
Yeah, exactly. If he's like flown out there, I'd be like, bye, like, thank you.
Thanks, Dick, for waking me
You
up.
asshole. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that movie.
The fuck, Chris?
We should probably do like one question for trivia right now.
You want to do one question real quick?
Yeah, because we're running out of things.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask a question, and I'll try my best to whoever raises their hand first. I'll give you a crack at it. This is going to be kind of hard, though. We don't have like that, any of those. Like, okay.
No, this is
so
way more people than
in
we
The
thought.
Princess Bride, there are creatures in the fire swamp.
He was first.
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
First
I'm
Pepsi
sorry,
of the
did you
night.
I saw his hand too, but I think
He was first.
He was a little first. Okay, so we got to keep our eye on that. You lost your virginity to The Princess Bride.
Was it the... Wait, was it the verbal abuse? Was it the verbal abuse? It was Buttercup just being a
The
bitch.
only way that would work is she's like, stick it in, and he's like, as you wish. Hand me that pan.
I'm never
Fuck you. I'm not getting that pan.
It's fucking right in front of you.
There.
Just get it. It's really funny if you go back and watch the movie now and think about that scene, how creepy Wesley is when he says, as you wish.
He looks at him.
Knowing full well that he's had nothing but verbal abuse from this woman. Like that he's like, Wesley's not actually like this like nice farm boy, that he's sick in the fucking head.
Yeah.
Like imagine just somebody just fucking with you
he's like a
every single day. Every single day just fucking with you. And instead of getting pissed off and wanting to kill that person, you answer back as you wish, all creepily.
Well, and she keeps like giving him shit to do, even when there's nothing more to do. She's like looking around for things for him to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think that's what verbal abuse is.
Abuse.
Verbal and mental abuse. I think that's what it is.
I think
that's all right.
It wasn't her. Why the fuck would you talk about another woman when you have this beautiful woman sitting next to you? Oh my God.
The verbal abuse and the mental abuse in there?
Give her that Crystal Pepsi. Oh, this just got interesting.
So
that just got
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Yeah, Star.
Are you next? Am I next? Oh, you're next.
What's that? I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's an incest thing. This is a three-way thing. That's exciting.
Well, then we should probably be talking about Pearl Harbor.
Give us your address after. You got Pearl Harbor on.
No, I don't. But you said three-way and fucked up shit, and I was thinking Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I hate that movie. That's pretty bad.
I do have episode 1.
What do you got?
I got episode 1.
Episode 1?
Yeah, in the very beginning.
The whole movie's what the fuck.
Yeah, I know, but right in the beginning, before Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan land on the Trade Federation ship, you can clearly see there's like 6 Federation ships on the in front of Naboo.
Okay.
Why not just fly around the planet?
Or just fly around the planet?
Yeah, fly around. Because anytime you see, even in Clone Wars, a cartoon, which we love, anytime you see like a blockade, go back and watch it if you think I'm lying. Anytime there's a blockade, it's only on one side of the planet. It's not on the other side.
Yeah, you're right.
So just fucking take a U-turn.
And planets are big.
Yeah.
Planets are huge.
They just actually like, they're blocking. There's like 4 lanes into the highway. There's 4 lanes, one's blocked, and you cause a traffic jam.
Right. Well, it's like that in every Star Wars movie. Like the Star Destroyers are on one side of the planet. It's like just fly to the other side and then fly out into space.
Right.
It's a pretty big area.
Right.
But no, let's fly toward the big ships and get shot at and shit because it's more exciting. Good job, Lucas. Any of you guys watch The Santa Claus? You know, that Tim Allen shitty movie?
Oh, wow. That's...
Yeah. Unfortunately. So this is supposed to be a family-friendly movie, right? Well, how do you think the motherfucker becomes Santa Claus? The other one dies.
He kills him.
He kills him. He inadvertently kills him.
How did he do it again?
He startled him.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, gives it. So him and his kid, they go outside and they startle Santa Claus, and Santa Claus falls off the goddamn roof and he dies.
Right.
And then that's how he inherits the suit.
He's been doing it for a long time, though, right? That Santa Claus. You'd
Yeah,
think
but
he would
still,
have like a safety
he didn't
harness.
die naturally. He died because this guy startled him. Basically,
Right.
Tim Allen killed him.
Right. Killed him.
Tim Allen, you know the.
I know Tim Allen, but that he killed
a really
him.
bad impression?
Yeah.
It's like I killed Santa Claus. Ho 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 ho. I think he actually does the ho 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 thing at some point, which is pretty stupid. Anyway, that was terrible. Santa Claus sucks. Then they made like 2 more sequels after that too.
Yeah, and then Martin Short was in one of them too.
Oh fuck, he played like was it that ice character, the Jack Frost?
That was a pretty quick pull there, buddy.
Yeah, I would never.
That was pretty quick. Wearing a Superman shirt, you're like Jack Frost.
Oh, Martin Short, yeah, I love that guy. I love fucking Tim Allen. What's the matter with you?
What else you got?
I got Batman: The Killing Joke. This one, the cartoon version that they put out last year. This is one of my favorite. Yeah, this is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. And when they said that
Graphic
Mark Hamill,
novel's kind of loose. Novel,
well,
I think, of more
it's
than 17
like
pages.
36 pages or something like that. But
yeah, it's not a lot.
whatever. It's yeah. So
It's a graphic tale.
And we talked about this last year, but this to no end bothers me because the comic is so brilliant. And then when they said that Mark Hamill was coming back and Kevin Conroy, I mean, you couldn't go wrong, right? Wrong. When Batman fucks Batgirl, dude.
That's not the what the fuck moment.
No,
No, the what the fuck moment was when Batman just like bounces.
Yes.
Like he's fighting for like, you know, justice and all this shit, and he just fucking leaves, just don't call her back.
He doesn't call her back.
This is the same guy who has a fucking bat signal that you can reach him in Gotham City. Everybody can see it, and he doesn't call her back.
You answer to Commissioner Gordon. Why can't you answer your fucking cell phone? Hello.
Yeah.
You got a what do you call it? A credit card? A bat credit card?
Not in this one.
Yeah, what an asshole. Batman's an asshole.
That also ruined the entire thing too, because
did.
now all of a sudden it's about Batman and getting revenge for Barbara.
Yes.
Type deal, and it wasn't about the Joker anymore. Spoilers.
Shitty. What else you got?
Let's see. I'm running out of shit. I've got the Lord of the Rings, the entire trilogy.
Oh, God, no.
It's the entire trilogy because it wasn't necessary. Completely not necessary.
Why? Is this another like Raiders of the Lost Ark situation? Where you don't need Indiana Jones.
No, it's almost like it's actually like the Wizard of Oz type thing.
Okay.
Where Dorothy could have gone home at any fucking point, and Gandalf had the giant eagles and could have just dropped that shit off like a bird taking a shit on a car. Could just dropped it right into Mount Doom. Boom, done. Because it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like the tower by Mount Doom was like a laser. It was going to shoot the birds down.
No, because it doesn't do it.
It just all it does is see.
Well, yeah, it looks at something and says, "Hey, you guys, orcs, like come over here and
yeah, but
get
they're
them."
fucking eagles.
Well, yeah, but they have the
and they proved that they could fight those dragon thing, the
wraiths.
The wraiths, right?
Jesus Christ, have you seen
could
this
have
fucking
ended.
movie?
Yeah, I have. That's why I know that the movie could have ended in like the second they gave the fucking thing to Frodo and said, "Take it to Mount Doom." Gandalf should have set up and said, "I got eagles. Let's fucking go. We'll be back before lunch."
The same thing could be said in The Hobbit then. Like
Yeah,
those eagles saved them from the white orc and all those the beasts running around, the wargs, whatever. And the fucking eagles dropped them off in the worst place possible on top of this like pedestal that's like 1,000 feet above the ground with no like stairs in sight to get down. And they're like, "Oh look, there's the Misty Mountain right there." Like fucking eagles, like take me there. Like no, they just fly away. Hold on a second. Is this like are the eagles like a video game where you get a power up and the power up only lasts like 30 seconds? So like the eagles are like, "All right, we're done." Like they just drop you off and take off.
You had to get like, you know, all the special pieces before it worked.
They turn back to moths, like, and then. Like,
all right. And moths. That's how he fucking called the eagles, by moths.
That's right, he does. He's like, or whatever. I don't understand. Like,
so basically, this entire movie is just Gandalf, like, just didn't want anybody to touch his shit. It's like you got a brand new car. It's like you're using up all the new. Like, leave me alone. Yes, like the elves are in the back. It's like fucking Gandalf didn't talk about the eagles again. It's gonna make these fucking hobbits walk the distance to like Argentina or something. Instead, they could have taken a plane.
I think he's a sadistic asshole too. Yeah. I really do. He's just like, I want to see how far these fuckers are gonna walk.
That scene where like all the hobbits are like hugging him, like when he wakes up, when Frodo wakes up.
Yeah.
And it's like Gandalf comes in with that smile on his face and he just starts laughing his ass off.
So I could have flew you there the whole time.
Yeah. I seriously had a bet.
I was going to go with the elves on the island anyway.
I had no idea you were going to actually make it back. I thought you were fucked. At some point in time, I thought I was like once you got into the bar, that little bar, like the day later, they almost died. I was like, I thought I was going to have to pick you up at the bar with the Eagles, but you just kept fucking going. I was proud of you. Good job, Frodo.
something else that happened in that movie that bugged me. Now that I think about it, was that the soldiers, the Green Army, the spirits or whatever. So they call upon the spirits to help them fight everyone in front of Minas Tirith, and they fly in. They're like, they just
wipe him out.
They just wipe him out in 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Release me!" And even fucking Ghibli's like, "We could use those guys." and Aragorn's like, "Your thing has been fulfilled," And they fly away. And I'm sitting there going like, "Oh shit!" Like, you could have had those guys just swarm into Mordor and fucked everybody up, and Frodo could have just kind of sauntered up to Mount Doom.
It wouldn't even taken that long because they could the green ghosts could have just killed them before they even got there.
That's true. That's true. And
because they almost died at the end.
Right.
And if I'm Gimli, I'm like, hey, those fucking green soldiers at you.
Hey, they could come in handy.
Yeah,
he
right
says
about
that.
now.
They could come in handy right about now. You know, and Aragorn's like, nah, I want to make this hard. I really want to make
I want to be Gandalf. Gandalf
has eagles. Let's go.
I've got flying eagles and an unbeatable ghost army.
Yeah.
Let's walk.
Let's see here. I don't have much more either.
I know. We're done. Fuck this.
Well, it's like, well, in episode 3, the Emperor. This is
Star Wars heavy.
I know. Well, because it's been really on my mind because The Last Jedi's coming out, and plus there hasn't been any trailers, so I've been trying to watch, all the Star Wars movies and Clone Wars and all that shit to kind of bide my time. And but anyway, like the Emperor, he tells Anakin, well, after he kills Mace Windu, he pretty much turns to the dark side. I mean, he's the Emperor's bitch at this point. And the Emperor basically tells him, he's like, in order to save Padme, we'll work together and all that shit.
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, it was part of saving Padme going to the temple and fucking wiping out a bunch of kids.
No, definitely was not.
Because is that like a force? Like the more kids I kill. It's kind of like...
He went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, the more I clap, I'll save these fairies, kind of thing.
He went overboard.
He went a little overboard. He's like, okay, I start with the older ones. Now let's kill some young ones because they're really they're powerful.
I guess. They really weren't. Clearly. Those kids, what would happen if you walked into a room with a giant sword against 5-year-olds? You'd fucking murder them all. That's what would happen. They didn't stand a chance, Jedi or not.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I just brought that up.
But actually, that made me think of something else because that power that he promises Anakin, right? It never fucking happens. Even after Padme dies, he doesn't tell him let's just Anakin or Darth Vader at this point doesn't ask him hey, can we keep pursuing that power because I'm kind of fucked up here? Can we keep trying to search for that power?
He's like, okay, Padme's dead, but still, I want to know what this power is in case I find a new chick.
Look at this shit. Like fucking roast beef.
This one's kind of weak sauce though, but Cabin in the Woods. Anyone want to see Cabin in the Woods? Was that Joss Whedon? Joss Whedon, right? I love that movie. It's so fucking quirky or whatever, but there's one scene in it that made no sense. It was Thor is in this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth? Okay. So Thor says to these kids, he's like, look, you see that ravine right there? I'm gonna get on this fucking dirt bike and I'm gonna jump that ravine and I'm gonna go get help.
And nobody stops him and says that's a bad idea.
Nobody stops him. In fact, everyone is just like, oh yeah, shit, that's a good idea.
Nobody asks, have you ever done this before?
No, not ever. Is your last name Knievel?
Yeah, maybe.
No?
Maybe
then don't do it.
Maybe we should practice over this little pond first.
Yeah,
let's practice over here.
Hey, somebody lay down and you jump over him. And
jump over this log. If you can't jump over the log, you probably shouldn't do the 100-foot ravine. He's like, no, I'm the god of thunder.
And the chick is just like, good luck, baby. And he's like, I'm fucking Thor, bitch. And it's like, he jumps.
He would have made it if it wasn't for that pesky force field.
The pesky force field wall. Who saw that come? Who saw that come? Who didn't throw a rock to see if fucking something was there? Fucking Thor. Shit.
It was a pretty funny death.
It was the dumbest death
But
ever.
It was funny. It was not like Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan was not funny. That was just dumb. When Thor died, it was fucking hilarious. Because it was just right after the first Thor movie, right?
No, I don't know when that movie was. I think it was before Thor.
I might have seen it after Thor.
Thor.
I might have seen, like, Cabin in the Woods might have been out, and then I might have seen Thor first. Then
it doesn't matter what he did before.
It was
after.
Thor.
It's still fucking stupid. I mean,
yeah, but it's funnier if you say Thor rode a motorcycle and died. How did the God of Thunder die?
Why is the God of Thunder driving a goddamn motorcycle to begin with? He can fucking fly with his hammer.
He needed it.
Okay, let's give away. Let's do another trivia question.
All right, go ahead.
In the Goonies, what's the catchphrase that Sloth says when he swings into the? You already won.
Right there.
Here, right there. Oh, he said it just like him. Awesome. Come up, get a Crystal Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi. By the way, this no sponsorship by Pepsi whatsoever. There you go. I think it might be just water. I don't know. He's like, I'm a collector. I'm never going to open this. You're like, good.
Good, don't open it.
That's good. It's like fucking tap water. Should we do another trivia? Do you have any more? You're done.
I might have one.
You might have one more?
No, we went through this pretty fast. Actually, I have one from Titanic.
Oh, do that one.
Let's do another trivia first.
Just another trivia first. Okay. I want to get a hard one. Do we have a hard one? Oh, we'll do it. We'll do a Wizard of Oz one. Okay. So in Wizard of Oz, who are Dorothy's companions, and in what order did she meet them? Yes. Boom. There you go. Which one do you want to give him? You can give him whatever you want. Boom. Crystal Pepsi.
We're out of Crystal Pepsi now.
We are out of Crystal. And half the room just bailed.
Oh, we should have waited. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, my Titanic one. It's supposed to be a very poignant, beautiful moment of Rose saying goodbye, but to me, it's what the fuck. It's at the end. So you see her in the beginning of the movie that Rose's granddaughter has been taking care of her forever, right? Like, it seems like it. You know, she's really sweet, even fucking takes her old ass on this goddamn boat in the middle of nowhere. Like, imagine if your senile grandmother was like, I was on the Titanic and I have this giant story to tell. All right, Grandma.
Yeah, okay,
All right, Grandma.
Take it easy.
I'm going to the store. I'll be back in 5 hours. So clearly the granddaughter loves her and takes care of her. So the what the fuck moment for me is, how does she repay the granddaughter back? By throwing a priceless diamond into the fucking ocean. Like, she probably won't even make that trip back alive.
No.
And the granddaughter's gonna be left with all her fucking medical bills and all this shit. And then easily could have been taken care of from this priceless giant diamond.
For the rest of her life.
And she selfishly fucking throws it into the ocean.
Why did she? I still don't understand why she did that. I mean, I understand it's like this like poignant thing.
This is at the end. This is after they get away from Billy crazy ass Zane.
It was. Well,
that's how senile she is. She thinks her fucking ghost is in the fucking diamond, and they're actually driving away. Like, the boat is moving away from the Titanic when she does this. So if her ghost was
nowhere
actually
near the Titanic.
No.
Why didn't she jump in the fucking water with the diamond and killed herself with the diamond? That would make more sense.
But what I'm saying is, if she actually believed her ghost was in the diamond and the boat was clearly away from the Titanic and she just throws it into the ocean, right? She just ends up in some random neighborhood, like on the bottom of the ocean, like not on the Titanic anymore, right? Like, her ghost is there in the diamond and she fucking becomes Ghost Rose and she's like,
oh, shit.
Where the fuck is the Titanic?
I threw it too late.
I threw it too late. Now she's just stuck there with nobody. So stupid. Ghost Rose. Ghost Rose and the diamond.
Oh, God. I don't think I can top that, man. It's fucking Ghost
Nobody
Rose.
thought that. Like, the granddaughter really needed the money.
I honestly, I never.
Like, how the fuck did she even pay for that trip?
Well, I think Bill Paxton.
Oh, you almost did it.
I almost did it. Bill Paxton, I think, paid for it because he wanted. But that's the other thing is like he
paid for it there. He wasn't going to pay for it to go back because there was no more diamonds.
This old woman on the boat and sat there and listened to her story on the boat. I'm just like, why didn't he come to her house and ask the story? And then like,
because he was already by the Titanic.
Hey, I got to go to the bathroom. And then while he's going to the bathroom, he's looking for that fucking diamond. And then he like finds it. He walks out. He's like, interview over. We're good. I got everything I needed.
So now this turns into like an Ocean's 11.
Right. Exactly.
It's a much better movie now.
It's a much better movie. And then she gets pissed because it's missing. So her and the granddaughter go on this like grand like action adventure and they're trying to find him and get there.
I just pictured Indiana Jones and the red line.
Yeah, well, anything is better than fucking Crystal Skulls.
Right.
Anyway,
you want to give away something else? Because we only have 2 things left.
Let's give away something else.
Chalice or Kylo Ren?
And let's give away Kylo Ren. The Chalice is badass. Okay. So cool. Okay, so in episode 1, the Trade Federation set up a blockade above which planet? You got it. Naboo. Kylo Ren is yours, my good man.
Do you have any more?
Excellent. I'm tapped out. I mean, I have Live Free or Die Hard, but this is pretty weak sauce. That's really weak sauce. But then again, I don't know. You guys watch Live Free or Die Hard, which is like I think the 4th one. And by that time, he's a fucking superhero. Like he's indestructible. Like he's jumping off jets.
It's like the Fast and the Furious series.
Yeah, it's like it turns into Fast. Yeah. Like he hits a helicopter with a fucking
patrol car. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just gets scratches. He's out of bullets. Where are the Eagles? When I need them. No, there's like the whole movie is about like this shit going down there, like what do they call it, a fire sale. So everything is getting
right.
happening, and all the while, he doesn't think 1 second to get a hold of his daughter, the entire time. And you're thinking in the back of your head, I know what's going to happen. They're going to fucking kidnap his daughter, and they're going to hold that in front of him as like, hey, we got your daughter, so leave us the fuck alone, kind of thing. And he never sees that coming, right?
Right, but
it's ridiculous.
But the first 3 movies have proven what a shitty husband and father is. So the what the fuck moment is like
I've said I love you many times, but I've never said I was sorry. Yeah. I'm just like, what kind of shit is that?
Sorry for getting kidnapped.
Yeah, sorry you got kidnapped.
Sorry I keep using my full real name and putting you in danger. Telling all fucking terrorists my full name.
This is where I live.
Yeah.
No, I mean, at any point, this guy, what is it, Tim Oliphant or whatever?
Yeah.
At any point, he can find out anything about you. He even wipes out all. He doesn't wipe out his debt. He wipes out his pension and his savings and all that stuff. So you don't think to yourself, shit, if he could do that, he could probably find out who my daughter is. I need to call her right now and tell her to go hide.
Yeah, but again, he's a shitty father. It's just shit.
And again, is there anybody else on the goddamn planet that can do the job that needs to be done? Why does it have to be him all the time?
That's like the same thing for 24.
For the Warlock, Kevin Smith, yeah. Exactly. The Warlock helps him out. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, he's the only one for the job. There's no one else. And then every time they see him there, they're always like, "Oh, shit's going down because McClane's here. Something's up."
Well, I mean, that's like kind of the same thing for like 24. Everybody probably has watched spoilers. If you just listen to Jack Bauer in episode 1, the show's called One. Like, there's no other episodes. Just listen to him. Nobody listens. When Jack Bauer says something's about to fucking go down, just listen to him. And it's over. Credits.
Credits. But the one problem with that show is that, same thing with like the X-Files, same with Ray Donovan, all these shows that I've been watching lately. If any cell tower just like went down, the show would be over. They can't fucking call anybody to help. The whole show is just him on the fucking phone, like calling people like, hey, get on the thing, and you need to do the thing. But if the phone is not working, you can't do anything.
That's not the most unbelievable part, though. The most unbelievable part is they're always on one charge. They're one charge of their cell phone.
Right, lasts for 24 hours.
Has anybody
this
used the
phone died
that
within
much?
5 hours.
We've charged that phone twice today.
3 times.
Yeah.
And not even all the way.
And that's basically where Jack Bauer would get killed, in a fucking outlet, like just plugging his phone in. Like, I
dropped my phone in the water. Shit.
I think
Game over. Game over.
I think Bauer's phone's about to die.
The rest of the show is he's at Verizon trying to get a new phone. Fucking show's over.
And the show's 4 hours of him like actually doing shit, and the rest of it is just standing in line at Verizon.
Can we change your plan? No, just give me
the
a new
fucking battery
phone.
charger. Fuck. Which one of these millions of batteries fit on my fucking phone?
All right, we have one last trivia question, then we'll let you guys out of here.
Like we're keeping them hostage or something. You guys can't.
You know what?
Leave.
It just deleted for some reason. So you got to look.
I gotta look.
Wait. I got it. I found it. Okay. So this is for the chalice. It isn't from Game of Thrones, but it's pretty. It looks cool though.
It's incest free.
It's. Let's see. Okay, this is a Star Wars question. So, what is the name of Darth Vader's mom? Yes.
Right there. Well, that's his wife. You incest. I said no incest.
No incest.
I said no fucking incest.
Yes.
Fuck, this was an incest-free chalice, and you fucking just put incest all over it. In the back. You got it.
There you go. You got it. Come on down. You might want to wash this. It's got incest all over it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, do not put that in the dishwasher. Just rinse it.
We'll email you instructions on how to use the cup. Don't use it till then. I think that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, San Francisco Comic-Con. All right. Well, that was episode 97 of Chew on This, a Nerds United podcast. I'm BJ.
Vic.
Till next time, folks, chew on that.
Come up and pick a card up so you know how to find us.
Yes.
Instead of late at night. Thank you.